Good morning. Welcome to Berrien Birders. Sometimes when we go out birding very early and you feel kind of sleepy, you are awakened suddenly by a Merlin show.
Yeah, the Merlins come to Tuscarnia to look for birds flying out over the lake. Here you can see trying to catch one in slow-mo, does a full barrel roll after whatever that little passerine is. Does a bit of a tail chase here. A lot of times they come from below because then the passerine doesn't have gravity to help it zig. Now it gains elevation, gets speed. Now it comes up from below again to try to snag it, but that passerine zigged and zagged correctly. But about 15 minutes later, I sat there staking out the Merlin tree, and this time it came in and it had a successful hunt.
What kind of bird is that?
Well, it's a very unhappy one. Well, or at least it was. Now it's not really. Can't really comment. We'll be able to see its identity in a few minutes. It's kind of interesting how the Merlin here is kind of preening its back and it's kind of looking around, making sure there's not any jays or other Merlins around that might try and steal its kill. Sometimes you'll see birds do not quite distraction displays, but they'll kind of change what they're doing. That's not necessarily germane to kind of what they're doing, just to kind of change the subject, so to speak. And so I wonder if when this bird is kind of sitting there preening and looking around, if it's trying to pretend it doesn't actually have something delicious. And now, as you see, as it kind of thinks about eating it, turns around. Now you can see the white eye ring, yellow underbelly. That's a Nashville Warbler that it happened to catch out over the lake.
And here we have the world's bravest and dumbest
Blue Jays. These guys say, okay, well, we've got safety in numbers because we just watched what Merlins do to warblers. And the Jays like, well, we're bigger than a warbler, but we're still only half the size of the Merlin. So as long as there's 4 of us, we'll go ahead and play chicken with this Merlin that you saw the last time. It chased the Merlin away, and this time the Merlin says, well, watch this. Well, actually, that time the Merlin blinked. We'll see if it rises to the occasion on this time around. 1 Jay, 2 Jays, too many. There we go. Time to get after it. And the Jays and the Merlin kind of went several rounds of let me yell at you. No, I'm going to yell at you. Oh, too close. Now you said the wrong thing. Time to take this outside.
And the funny thing is, this morning we actually saw 2 Merlins do that to each other, get kind of in each other's space, and then puff up, hunker down, and chase.
Yeah, the Merlins have a thing for saying, yeah, let's go. No reason to mess around with preliminaries. They're just going to chase and just have a nice round of free-for-all.
I think Matt told me they were constantly in jerk mode. He
That
may
may
have
not have
used a
been,
different
yeah, that may
word.
not have been technically the word that I used, but that's kind of, if a Merlin breathes, it's ready to throw down. And here we see it kind of looking around again. Now, it was kind of interesting. The Jays, as long as there were 4 Jays and 1 falcon, were pretty content to mix it up. For whatever reason, here came 2 kestrels who decided, that looks like a nice open tree. We can sit here, and even though I've never seen a kestrel chase a bird, perhaps kind of rest and find kind of grasshoppers. You can have a nice comparison of the small-headed kestrel on the left, the bigger Merlin on the right. We were looking at the Merlin with a lot heavier belly and breast streaking, where the Merlin's down low and on the right. The kestrels have much paler breasts. The kestrels, ironically, have a lot of times kind of stronger face patterns than the Merlin does down low. And for a while, the Merlin and the kestrels kind of tolerated each other. After a while, the kestrels started flying around and giving their killy, 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 killy call. And then the Merlin's like, okay, forget this. You guys can't take up a territory here. This is my area. And then the Merlin started chasing the kestrels too.
But peace for a minute.
Peace for a minute. We've got more videos coming. Like, comment, subscribe.
Peace out.
Said no Merlin ever.